Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing. And I know that seems strange to a lot of people.
Live, a judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and sex trafficking case.
The game may finally be over for Diddy. A no-nonsense judge has stepped into the spotlight, tightening the grip on one of the most jaw-dropping cases in the entertainment world's history. Once untouchable, Diddy's empire, built on luxury, power, and influence, now hangs by a thread, overshadowed by grim allegations. At the center of it all stands Judge Supermanin, a relentless figure known for his unflinching approach to justice. This is the courtroom drama sending shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily, so I guess right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind bars.
Diddy has always presented himself as a family man in the public eye, frequently bringing his children to events and celebrating their achievements. At the 2023 VMAs, he shared a touching moment remembering his late ex, Kim Porter, while performing on stage with his son, King Combs. This father-son dynamic seemed picture-perfect, but behind the scenes, things might not be as simple as they appear. While the VMA performance showcased unity, it raised questions about Diddy's true relationship with his children. Was it all just for show? Or is there genuine love beneath the surface?
Got a lot of money and they got lawyers that can come up with different reasons and different information and present it to the courts that they are able to get how many bail hearings, as long as you got different information to present to the court, different evidence.
According to sources close to the case, Supermanin was blunt in his assessment. He pointed to allegations of witness tampering, a disturbing history of intimidation, and, crucially, the infamous 2016 video showing Diddy in a violent altercation with his former partner, Cassie Ventura. This video, in the judge's eyes, is direct evidence of Diddy's propensity for violence. It wasn't just a decision to deny bail, it was a statement that the court won't be bending to wealth or influence.
So you gotta realize he got a lot of money. He still got a lot of money because he's paying these high-profile lawyers to take this case. So in having them to take this case, they're able to construct a lot of information together to making sure that when they go to the courts, they can say, yo, Your Honor, listen here, this is something that's changed. This is something that's new. This is something that's different.
So who is this judge who seems to have struck fear into Diddy's legal team? Judge Supermanin has built a formidable reputation as a tough, meticulous, and fair judge who doesn't back down from high-profile cases. He's not afraid to take on powerful figures, and his courtroom track record speaks for itself. Insiders say he's relentless in his pursuit of justice, and for Diddy, that could mean the worst possible scenario.
It looked like he might get bail. Now you're wondering why I'm saying that. See, they are trying to use some of the things that happen to criminals all the time, or inmates all the time. They always, brother, they always do those impromptu searches.
Despite the growing controversies, King Combs has worked hard to establish his own identity in the entertainment industry. From taking over his father's Instagram account to pursuing his own music career, King has defended his father publicly. However, his actions have often seemed conflicted. In one instance, King even dropped a diss track aimed at his father's critics, including 50 Cent. But was this song an act of defiance, or a way to deflect attention from the growing allegations?
In this particular case, they said that when they did the impromptu search, well, they took some of his legal information, and the judge ordered them to give that back. So I guess the lawyers are going to come up with a couple of new things saying that he can't properly, have his case.
While King has been outspoken, Diddy's other son, Justin Dior Combs, has remained eerily silent when asked about his father. Justin has refused to comment, leaving fans and the media to speculate on where he stands. Could his silence suggest he knows more than he's willing to reveal? This stark contrast between the brothers adds a layer of complexity to the family dynamics. While King seems determined to defend his father's legacy, Justin's silence raises questions about what he might be withholding.
I don't believe none of that to be true. I believe that they went in there just like they do all the other inmates based on the information they had. You gotta realize this, bro. They found out that Diddy was using other inmates' phone cards. Now that probably happens all the time.
The family drama reached a boiling point when all three of Diddy's sons, King, Justin, and Quincy, were seen arriving together at the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Courthouse in New York. Their appearance together sparked rumors of internal conflict, with some speculating that the brothers might be preparing.
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Amidst the chaos, reports emerged about a phone call Diddy made to one of his sons while in custody. The contents of the call remain unclear, but it underscores the strain these allegations have placed on the family bond. Was Diddy reaching out for support, or is he attempting to manipulate the narrative to maintain control over his empire?
Sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
As all of this unfolds, King Combs continues to focus on building his own career. He shares glimpses of his life behind the scenes, from photo shoots to social media takeovers. His determination to maintain his public image as an up-and-coming star suggests he's intent on not letting the allegations against his father derail his ambitions. But fans can't help but wonder if his public persona is hiding deeper struggles within the family.
Did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in the conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
For now, Diddy remains behind bars, a far cry from the lavish lifestyle he once flaunted. His legal battles are far from over, and with each passing day, the situation looks bleaker. The scrutiny of his actions has not only fractured his public image, but also sent shockwaves through his once thriving empire. Diddy's music label, fashion line, and business ventures are now facing major challenges, with sponsors, brand partners, and collaborators backing away. The power dynamics in Hollywood are shifting, and many are wondering whether Diddy's downfall will be a turning point in the industry's culture of silence and impunity.
Still pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share. But more importantly,
one pivotal piece of evidence in this case is the 2016 video showing Diddy in a violent altercation with his former partner, Cassie Ventura. The footage, which was leaked earlier this year, has become a focal point in the public's perception of Diddy. While his legal team argues that the video is being taken out of context, the imagery is hard to ignore. Prosecutors have used it as evidence to support their claims of a pattern of aggressive and intimidating behavior, and it has only added fuel to the fire in the court of public opinion.
At the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, they're legal documents. The government saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar.
While Diddy's family has rallied around him, even this has been controversial. Prosecutors have accused him of orchestrating a social media campaign from behind bars to sway public opinion, allegedly involving his children in the process. This has further tarnished his image, as critics argue that he's still trying to control the narrative despite his incarceration. Diddy's legal team has pushed back, but the damage may already be done.
That's it. If it is privilege, of course they won't. But if it really is what the prosecution says, that has nothing to do with the case, or even worse, it's actually evidence of witness tampering, because we all know the attorney-client privilege, there's a crime fraud exception. You can't use your lawyer to perpetuate a future or continuing fraud or crime. So if the documents are what the government says they are, they're going to get them again. And again, it's just going to be a matter of days, because I don't expect.
For now, Diddy remains behind bars, awaiting a trial that could determine the rest of his life. Legal experts speculate that his team might pursue a plea deal, but doing so would require admitting guilt, something Diddy has steadfastly refused to do. On the other hand, taking the case to trial is a massive gamble. Prosecutors seem to have an overwhelming case, and with public sentiment turning against him, Diddy's options appear limited.
So there's a few things going on. First is the privilege issue. The judge will decide whether the documents are privileged or not. If they're not, they're going to go to the government. If the documents are not only not privileged, but they're evidence of witness tampering, then a few things can happen, all of which are bad for Sean Diddy Combs. First, of course, he could face obstruction of justice charges in a superseding indictment.
This case could be a turning point, not just for Diddy, but for the entertainment industry as a whole. For years, powerful figures like him have operated with relative impunity, shielded by their wealth and status. But with more victims coming forward and more high-profile cases dominating the headlines, the culture of silence that once protected such individuals is starting to crack. Diddy's trial could mark the beginning of a much-needed reckoning, one that forces Hollywood to confront its toxic culture.
They probably didn't see these notes, and they never will.
But if you're Diddy, don't you want your notes back?
Yeah.
If you've spent so many hours gathering evidence for your side or, strategy or whatever, for me, I'd be oh no, please don't destroy, please return.
As the weeks go by, the tension continues to mount. Will more accusers come forward? Will former allies turn on him? Most importantly, will Diddy's legal team find a way to turn the tide? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's biggest icons? This story is far from over, and the world will be watching every step of the way. The next chapter promises to be even more explosive, with revelations that could shake the very foundations of Hollywood.
He doesn't kind of buy what the prosecution's selling. He thinks they've looked at the notes.
Yeah.
He thinks that they're cheating.
I mean, I would think that too.
But apparently, what happened is commonplace.
We're monitoring another push to free Sean Diddy Combs tonight, with his legal team citing new evidence in an updated bail proposal. The music mogul agreeing to around-the-clock security and cutting out contact with basically anyone but his legal team to get out of jail ahead of his trial scheduled for May of next year for charges he allegedly coerced and abused women for years.
Everybody familiar with the old Houdini? So what Diddy's lawyers are trying to do is pull a Houdini. They're trying to say that the evidence that they have is different. Well, it's not different. The video that the entire world has seen is not going to go away. The fact that he had parties that were freak-offs is not going away. So it's just a question of whether or not Diddy is, and if he does, this new, quote, robust bail package, you can avoid and evade. And he is very connected with people that can help him avoid and evade. I'm not saying he will, but I would be surprised if the court grants him a bond. When the federal government wants you detained, you are normally detained, and here it was a very far-reaching situation that he was involved.
Both sides in the Sean Diddy Combs case have until today to give answers for how the music mogul has been communicating from jail. Combs appearing in court last Friday seeking bail while he awaits trial. He's been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since September.
Vince denying these claims and is pushing for his release under strict conditions, including a $50 million bond and 24/7 monitoring at a secured Manhattan apartment. There will be a hearing today where both sides will have a chance to clarify exactly how Combs has been connecting with the world outside his jail cell.
For now, all eyes are on Diddy as he faces the fight of his life, both in the courtroom and in the court of public opinion. Is this the end of an era, or can his legal team pull off a miraculous comeback? Only time will tell.